Hey, this is Nicolosi, and in this video, I'll show you how you can create a custom ping-pong delay in Mela. Here I have a Logic Pro running on macOS with Mela inserted as an audio effect, and I have a simple snare sample, which we'll use it to test our delay effect. Okay, so we have a very basic preset which simply passes audio through. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can create a simple preset where you can process left and right channels independently. So let's insert a stack module and we'll add a group module and that will be our a left sublane. And what I'm going to do next is insert stereo tool. Stereo tool is a new module which replaces phase inverter, and it does much more than simply inverting phases. It can also swap left and right channels or mute one of the channels. It's quite flexible. So in this case, we'll just mute the right channel, and then we'll insert a delay module. And now if I play it, we'll only hear left channel and it will be delayed. Now, we'll duplicate this to create a right channel processor. And instead of muting right, we'll mute left. And we'll let the right channel pass through and maybe set delay amount to a different value. Okay, so we have our simple delay. And as you can see, it's quite easy to create a left-right channel processor. So you can process left and right channels independently. All you have to do is replace these delays with whatever modules you want. Okay, so the first thing our delay is missing is dry signal. We can address that by inserting the effect module, which lets us mix dry and wet signals. So we'll move the stack module inside the wet path, and we should hear the mix of dry and wet signals now. Great, we have our very simple delay effect. Now we need to convert it into a ping-pong delay. Ping-pong delay has two main features. First is it swaps left and right channels on the input. So we'll insert another instance of stereo tool, and this time we'll simply swap left and right channels. And we're not going to hear any difference because our snare is mono. But we'll hear difference once we create feedback. So that brings me to the second feature. The second main feature of a ping-pong delay is that the outputs are cross-fed. So that means the output of a left channel is fed back into the right and vice versa. So what we'll do is we'll insert audio out signal router and send the audio out to bus 1. We'll call this feedback send. And we'll insert a feedback module so we can receive the audio from bus 1. And we'll insert it in front of our swap. Let's rename this to swap for clarity. And now let's set it to say around 50%. And let's hear our effect. Great, we have our basic ping-pong delay. And thing to note about ping-pong delays is that ping-pong delays create interesting rhythms when they have integer ratio delay times. So let's set this to 1/8, and I'll set this to 75%, and I'll set this to 125%. Now, 75 to 125 is 3:5 ratio, and this is what it sounds like. We can change this a bit. If we set this to 100%, we now have 4:5 ratio. So you can experiment with this to create interesting effects. Now what we're going to do is we can add some processing to our delayed sound. What we can do is we can just insert band pass, which is a new module. It lets us add low and high cut filters to our sound. And let's set it to 2-pole, for example. Increase our feedback. And this is what it sounds like. Now we can insert anything in the feedback path. It doesn't have to be a filter. It can be anything. So we can insert a ring modulator, for example. So at the moment, both left and right channels are processed using the same processors, but you can move these around. So I can move bandpass to the left sublane, and I'll move the ring mode to the right sublane, and now they have different processing. This is what it sounds like. As you can see, it's quite simple to create a custom ping-pong delay, and you can extend it all sorts of ways. There is lots of room for experimentation. Okay, that's all for now. Like and share if you found this useful. If you have any questions or feedback, leave a comment below. See you next time.